What's up, my fellow traders? Hope you all having an awesome day. A quick one here on nat gas, gold, silver, crude oil, starting with natural gas. So before I continue, let me inform you again that my AI bot is active, and as you can see, it's been producing live active trades here on GBP CAD, and it recently produced one trade that is still running right here. We'll see how that goes. I'm also getting results from my members who already got an access to the bot, and which is something I'm going to share in my weekends video. And this bot is running absolutely fine on all the time frame. Feel free to check that out. And if you want to get access to this bot, if you are my student, you will have this bot access in the indicator section. Right here, you can download the script from here. That is for MMTA course students. And if you are not my member or if you are not my student, then you need to go to my brokers section. Click here and you will see all my brokers right here. Once you join them with minimum 1K of deposit, I will send you the Pine script, which you can plot in your TradingView platform and start trading with this bot as your extra confidence on the site. And you need to make sure which pair performs the best, because I have not tested that heavily, but it is running really well with few pairs. So let's start our analysis with natural gas. Now, what do we have right here? Now, first, very important to show you the clip from my last video so that we can understand how the market works in the downtrend, and so that we can connect the dots from there. Now, I've not taken this trade because I didn't like this small pullback, but I wanted to take a good setup because we already had one pullback right here with bearish candle that opened down in gap and then pushes lower. I want to see at least some more pullback to take my trades. That is why I've not sent this as an alert. As well, as you know, I always send nat gas alerts when there is a very good entry condition. Now, as price is pulling back up, and if we have a strong bearish engulfer below 50 EMA, in that case we will have a strong pullback, and if that happens, I will go for this entry as well. Perfect. So before I continue, we did a live session last week, and just to inform you that if you are still in these trades, we have taken, that was NASDAQ. Feel free to manage your trades or close your trades. If you have taken NASDAQ 100 trade, we had a nice entry, and that already pushed up, expecting a push up to 1.618 retracement on NASDAQ 100. 50% was here, and that was a good and big amount of profit. So you feel free to close this trade if you wish to, and that was a quick tip for you as well. Now, right here, as you can see on capital.com, we are getting this bearish engulfing candle. This candle will close in next 2 hours, and you're getting this video 2 hours before it is released. So the signal will be still active. Now, on MCX, the candle is still closed. That is a valid pullback entry bearish. Now, in the previous video, I've said that in a downtrend, these are the breathers. As you can see, this mark, these are the breather. Now, I like this kind of breather followed by bearish candle, and this kind of breather right here followed by bearish candle. Now, as you can see, previously we had this little breather followed by bearish candle. Now, I wouldn't be comfortable with this because I would say that is not a breather, that is just a sideways move. As you can see, that is just a sideways move. I don't call this a good pullback. Good pullback is something like this, something like this. These are something I call pullback. This is not a pullback. This is something I call a pullback. So we need to understand what is a good and better pullback for a good trade. Now, as you can see, we have got a nice pullback, and we are getting a nice bearish engulfing candle. Now, first, take your trades on your own risk. It is something I personally use for my own trading. Shouldn't be taken as any sort of trading advice. If you feel my analysis are wrong and it is not going or aligning with your analysis, so just my opinion, don't put all the money here just because I've said that is valid. For me, my risk tolerance is different. I trade differently, and it might not be for everyone. Now, if you follow me from last couple of years, I call this a valid entries, and once I see this type of big candles, I like to enter at the middle of this candle. The way you can calculate the middle of this candle with the Fibonacci retracement from the low to high of this candle right here, and as you can see, 50% comes exactly at the middle of this candle. So once this candle is closed, you can still use the Fibonacci tool to calculate the middle of this candle, and I would like to enter right here. For the ATR, I will go 1 ATR initially, and the second target I will use bigger than 1 ATR. I might go for 2 ATR, something like this, and stop loss will be 2 ATR as well. And whichever hit first, for example, I've set two targets, one with smaller target, one with a bigger target. If my smaller target hits first, I will move my stop loss to break even and let my second trade run to take profit too. If my, let's say, smaller target stop loss is hit first, I will use the stop loss of the bigger trade. That is how I personally trade. So hope that's clear. Once this candle is closed, I will go for it and I will enter this trade at the middle. Again, and entering at the close is also valid, but that could be risky and it will hinder your risk to reward ratio. It's totally up to you how you want to take it. Personally, I would like to enter at the middle. So let's see how this goes. If that goes well, then we can see a next level right here, which I've already mentioned in my yesterday's video. Feel free to mark these levels on all the platforms: Nemex, Capital.com, Ovanda, and MCX. Same goes with Nemex, getting a nice bearish engulfer, 1 ATR target initially and 2 ATR target. I would manage my trade still or till the recent lows. That is all I'm looking at. And same, but on Ovanda, it is not valid, but that is totally fine. I still take my trades according to Capital.com data. MCX audience, that's a valid swing high bearish entry. So let's see how this goes. I've already mentioned these zones for all 4 platforms, and I'm only bearish for natural gas, and we are bearish on a higher time frame on a daily. As you can see, nice head and shoulder pattern and nice head and shoulder pattern on smaller time frame as well. So that is what I'm looking at. I'm still expecting a price to come down here, and from where we can see another bounce up. So next up we have gold. Now gold just came down to my termination zone. If you remember my last video, I've said that if we have a rejection from a termination zone above, we can see a possible push down. Now also had a breach of the termination zone above, and that is what we have taken an opportunity. We had a breach, we have taken this buy trade, and my full take profit has been hit. I've shown you my real live trade in my yesterday's video, and we have set this entry when the price just formed this signal. So I hope you have made some money here, and that just hit the take profit. Now we can still call this a termination zone even though we had a break above, because gold is a choppy commodity. We can use these zones like that. So that is something we can do using some discretion. If the price forms a bullish engulfer within this termination zone, now this termination zone is quite bigger, exactly till here. If the price forms bullish engulfer here, that will be my buy signal. I will go for 1 ATR, exactly like this, 1 ATR, 1600 pips, and whatever the ATR is at the current candle, I will go for my long trade. So that is what I'll be looking at. Right shoulder, but with entry conditions like 3A2 candle or like bullish engulfing candle like this. If we have that, I will go 1 ATR for my target and manage my trades till this zone above. Now if there is no conditions here and price just dramatically push up, we are bullish already and we are only looking for bullish pullback trades exactly like this. And if let's say there is no bullish engulfer within this termination zone and price just normally push down, forms bearish engulfer below 50 EMA, I will go short just for my scalp, 1 ATR, and exit my trades. So these are the conditions now I'll be looking at for my next entry. Very simple and very easy. Now silver just broke above the previous high right here. Now there is a very less likely chance that silver will form some sort of signal here, but if there is, let's say we have a valid pullback entry bullish above 50 EMA, that will be my buy signal. That is all I'm looking at. If there is a valid pullback entry that follows all my 6 rules, if you are my student, you know what rules are that. So keep looking for a valid pullback entry bullish. If there is, I'm simply gonna go long. If there is no conditions, I'm not gonna take any entries, but for now I'm actively looking for buy trades only. Now I'll keep an eye on this double top area as well, which is very important. Now, if there is a rejection at this area, which is right here, as you can see these numbers in blue, if there is a rejection at this area, I will go short. But the rejection must be with red candle, bearish engulfers, or inverted ambers, or 382 candle. If the candle closes above this zone, then we are completely bullish. So that is all we are looking at from this area. If there is a bearish condition, only then I will go short, quick scalp, exit, keep my stop loss here, and then I will look for buy trades above 50 EMA. So that is all we are looking at here for silver. Finally, we have crude oil. Crude oil just broken out above this accumulation. Means we are only looking for buying opportunity. At this point, I'm not looking for any sell trades, but looking at this bullish engulfer, I'm expecting a push up. Already had this bullish engulfer on this platform, so I'm only expecting all the way from here. If you look here, and if you look here on Capital.com or Nemex futures, if you look here, if you trade here, then I will just go 1 ATR, which is only 70 cents. So 70 cents would be my target from here till here. So that would be a good scalp if you want to go for it and take your trades on your own risk. That is exactly till here. I'll keep my mark right here till where I want to go for the quick scalp. So that is something. If you want to go for the quick scalp, that is all. The next pullback trade will only happen after we are pushed up, broke above this high, pull back, engulfer, and then I'm gonna go long again and keep on taking longs. But this breakout shows we now have a bullish pressure and we can see a possible push up. So that is it for today's video. Hope you got a value. If yes, hit a like button for me, subscribe if you're new so that we can all trade together and trade efficiently. Hope you trade green. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have an awesome weekend. Take care.